What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we got some really exciting info on future content that is going to be coming to this game, so grab yourself a snack because it's going to be jam-packed with things to definitely get you hyped up. Now, as always, if you're new to the channel, by just gently clicking that big red subscribe button below, it will say you are subscribed, and that is exactly what we call your good day of the deed. Now, if we can get 8 likes too, that would be really cool. Now, the information actually comes from the mythical lands of Reddit, but before I dive into that stuff, I've seen a lot of people today complaining that the loot in this game has been nerfed with the recent update, or just in general. Right now, I want you guys to leave your thoughts on this in the comments below, because I'm going to have a completely different video with my thoughts and opinions, etc. But I mean, obviously it was done with the recent update, but it seems like it's only now that people are actually noticing this, because of course it wasn't in the patch notes and so forth. So it was kind of secretly done. Now, what do you guys think about it? Can you see the difference, like I said, and how do you think the devs should go about this moving forward with this? I mean, if it was my opinion right now, I mean, I just think they've definitely nerfed the complete wrong thing. But nonetheless, I mean, the game's going in the right direction, but this is safe to say is frustrating a lot of people for this game right now. Don't forget, I'm also giving away a game of your choice thanks to Instant Gaming this month, so you can check that stuff out. The link is in the description below. So, like I said, diving into the information, it comes from the mythical lands of Reddit by the user that I'll show on screen. Now, it's basically a long, I guess, in-depth paragraph of things that this person has found going back to the last War Table stream. But basically, of course, when that stream came out, no one really was able to play the game enough to understand references that were made, right? And especially visually, because again, not everyone really knew how the game was working at that time. But long story short, this person went back to it because after playing the game, there are basically a ton of bits, well, a load of information in there that hints towards future content in the game. Now, like I said, it's a really long list, so I'm going to link the original thread in the description below. But what I've done is I've basically broke it down to the things that I thought were more interesting, because he does, well, he or she, should I say, sorry, does go ahead and point out the obvious things, of course, like they do say, that was in there. So I've just basically, I guess, picked out the things that basically hint towards some major moves by the devs in getting new content for the game. So I'm going to start off and just read exactly what it says, and it says that watching the event live without having played much of the game, it looked very ordinary, but having played it now, a second look at it has revealed so much, and nobody is talking about any of it. So here is a list of stuff you can find on that video that seems to be coming to the game soon, some more obvious than others. So like I said, I've kind of got rid of the some more than obvious stuff, but if you want to check that stuff out, the original post is in the description below. So first of all, there will be at least one new location and new mission type that is called Tycoon Rifts, okay? Now, the word location gets thrown around, but it's not very clear, but if that means a new region or map type, we don't really know. But that said, you can clearly see game snippets in environments that are not currently in the game. For example, if you go back to that stream, there is a glass corridor that shows up multiple times. Now, among those new places, there are areas with the so-called Temporal Anomalies right all over the place, which is referred to as being a new mission type with a special gear to be earned from them. And again, it's not clear if those gameplay snippets are from a new region or if it's just a fresh coat of paint on an existing region in the game. Again, I mean, there are a few missions in the game that are kind of like that at this moment in time, so I guess we'll have to see, you know, how that goes down. Now, the next thing is about the Shield Substation 0 update, and the fact that it actually might be coming to the game before Kate Bishop, or at least alongside it. Now, during Kate Bishop's trailer, she mentions a Tycoon project, and some of the new cutscenes from Kate's campaign basically take place inside Shield Substation 0. Now, the Shield Substation campaign is displayed to the left of Kate Bishop's on the operation database screen, all of which points towards Shield Substation 0 being released before Kate Bishop. Now, if you actually take a look on that timeline, I mean, we're expected to get Kate Bishop, of course, more or less towards the end of October, meaning that we could get this update with the new region or location, whatever you want to call it, basically at the beginning of October, right? So again, we'll have to wait and see what goes down with that stuff, but it actually does make sense. Now, Kate's operation will add a new villain to the game and maybe a new region, but again, it's straight up said that it will be they will be adding a new villain. But while it's mentioned that operations can also add new regions, it's not confirmed that Kate's will, but all the evidence of new maps basically may suggest either it will, or of course Shield Substation Zero will. So it's going to be one of the two. Now, moving on to the next point that they said, it's about Hawkeye's operation, and it's called Future Imperfect and may involve time travel. Now, this is really interesting because we were talking about time travel in yesterday's video. In a long story short, without trying to spoil the ending, we see some interesting things, right? And it basically gives a big hint towards space, and we were actually talking about the time travel aspect in yesterday's video. So now this actually makes sense, or at least will definitely make sense in the future, I guess, playable time in this game, right? Now, one of the easier things to note is that Hawkeye's campaign title and description have been seriously censored due to containing spoilers, most likely. Now, you can still make out the title though, which is Future Imperfect, and it's very weird that small parts of the description are actually censored. And it reads Hawkeye is back, but actually cuts in the K from the back at the end, and M's basically newest W, which cuts aim and weapon at the beginning and end, respectively. Now, the person who posted this thread said, while I don't understand the meaning of these uncensored bits, when you put Future Imperfect together with those Tycoon Rift missions and the mention of the Temporal, of course, Anomalies, there's sure to be time travel in the mix. But could the devs be building up Kang and the Conqueror as a villain at some point down the line? So that's a really, really interesting theory there. Now, going on to the next thing is that possibly Claw will be the villain of Black Panther's operation whenever that comes out, because when they mention Marvel's birthday, they show a few comics on screen, and those comics were not chosen randomly, as they, basically despite characters like MODOK and the Super Adaptoid, which are in the game, but one of them shows Black Panther, Thor, and Vision, of course, who was in the leaked character DLC list. And of course, that's actually fighting Claw as well. Now, considering the content of the event was changed due to, of course, unfortunately Chadwick Boseman's passing, Wakanda Forever, absolutely, it's very likely this comic was there for a reason. Now, the third to last thing is that further confirmation that Vision, Winter Soldier, and possibly Doctor Strange are coming. As mentioned above, there's a lot on those comics on the presentation, and they are not random, one of which shows Vision and another one shows Hawkeye basically teaming up with Winter Soldier, which seems like a very specific comic to put up there. So will Hawkeye and Winter Soldier team up down the line on the game as well? And also, when mentioning the issue, AIM basically debut on the comics, and Doctor Strange is very prominent on the cover. But while this could be a reference only to AIM, it basically can be unrelated, but who knows if Doctor Strange was also on that leak. Now, the second to last thing, and it just keeps getting better, right? So first of all, there's multiple skins that are not yet already available in the game, so if you basically go back to any of the war tables and just pay attention to the characters whenever they show gameplay, especially towards the end, we can instantly see some new bits and bobs right over there with new, skins, etc. Now, the final thing is that there will be a new big cooperative mission called AIM Secret Lab, which will be available only once a week. And again, this is very obvious from watching it, and it does include it on the list for completion's sake. Now, it does actually say, it will sound like a raid type of content, but it's not at any point referred to as a raid, despite raids having been mentioned on previous war tables. Again, opening the possibility of this being something else entirely. So that's all the information we have, and I think it's absolutely spot on, and it really is getting me hyped up for this. But leave all your thoughts on this information in the comments below, and like I said, I'm going to link the original post in the description below, where it just basically recaps on some of the more obvious things as well. But guys, it's going to wrap up this video here. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.